Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have a Dell Inspiron 3481 laptop. This one is the regulatory model for this one is P89g, and those information can be found at the bottom of the laptop on the sticker. And in this video I'm gonna go over how you can open it up and clean up or repaste your CPU if yours is dirty. This one is pretty new, but I'm still gonna do it for you guys because you guys keep requesting it. And I'm gonna go over the tools that I'll be using, every tool and everything that you need to do this service. By doing this service, you're not gonna modify the system. You don't need to reconfigure or do anything like that. Everything is still gonna be the same thing, the same way that you left before. So let's get into it and let's get it started. First thing first, you wanna power off the laptop and you wanna flip it upside down. And now I'm gonna go over the tools. Tool number one is workshop towel. One sheet of the workshop towel, and next you'll need alcohol, isopropylic or isopropylic alcohol, 95% plus. You'll need a screwdriver set. I'll be using an UFIXTEK screwdriver set always in my videos because these are one of the best screwdrivers out there. These are made out of S2 class steel. You're going to be using a Phillips number 1. If you purchase the Pro set, they will include you with an opening tools and some tweezers. If not, grab yourself a curved tweezers, and for the opening tool, I'll be using a guitar pick. Metallic guitar picks are really suitable to opening this job. Alright, first thing first, at the bottom cover here, you're going to see a whole bunch of screws. Actually, one second, I forgot to let you know about them. Thermal paste. The thermal paste is going to be Arctic MX4. These are one of the best thermal pastes out there. Also, you need a toothbrush or any type of brush to clean it. Back to the screws. There are 3 screws which is on top right side, this one, and this one, this triangle right here. These screws, they have a C-lock on them and they have a purpose for it. The C-lock will prevent the screw coming out entirely. Also, it has a secondary function. I'm going to go over with it. To remove the screw, you just have to loosen up, rotate, and it makes a big sound, tick-tick sound. So, and then you know that is enough. So loosen up this screws, and I'll let you know what's the secondary function. Now the rest of the screws will come out entirely, so go ahead and loosen up all the screws. Also, if you guys like my videos and you want to support the channel, you can do that by clicking the like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. It helps and motivates me to make more videos, take requests, and answer your questions in the comment area. I appreciate that. Alright. The reason for this C-lock screw is when you open it up, and the C-lock will push the armrest away from the bottom cover, so it makes it way easy for you guys to remove the case. So you see this detaching right here is because of the C-lock pushed it away. So what you want to do, you want to grab your opening tool and you want to continue from the casing towards the front, and you want to twist it like this, and you want to hear a big click, and that's what you want to hear. You want to work yourself all the way to the front end of the laptop, all the way to the corner, and to the other side. Once you did that, now you can close up the screen, lift up from front end, wiggle it around, and it will release itself. So on the bottom cover here, you have a dust mesh. You can take it outside and clean it up with a compressed air. I'll leave the link for a good compressed air. Do not use the can airs. Those are really bad. Use the dry compressed air to clean up the mesh, and with a toothbrush. Alright, down here you're gonna see the fan. This is really clean fan because this laptop is almost new, but yours might be really clogged up and really dirty. So before we do anything, we're gonna disconnect the battery by putting your fingernails at the back of the jack right there, and then you want to pull it backward like that, and you want to leave it there. Now we're gonna remove the heatsink right over here by removing 4 screws on the heatsink, one right there. Again, the screws have a C-lock on them. They will not come out. They will just get loose. They have a little spring to them. So loosen up these 4 screws. Now you can go ahead and lift up the heatsink and bring it forward. So there's your thermal paste. The thermal paste actually is not covering this third die nicely. So there's a kind of defect, let's call it. It doesn't reach there. There's nothing much we can do about it. So you want to take it outside and clean up the ventilation duct right there. For the fan, you can either clean it and blow some air through here and clean it up, but do not blow air to the fan directly. when it's plugged in is really bad, because this fan, it will rotate the other way around and it will push the voltage, invert the voltage through the power jack here to the motherboard. So what you want to do always, disconnect the fan cable, to pulling it back the same way that you pull the battery, and pull it this way back. Now you can actually blow the air and clean it up, and you don't have to worry that pushing the voltage back to the motherboard. But by rotating really fast, you're going to generate voltage. To remove the fan, there's two screws holding it down, one on this side, one on the other side, at the bottom of it. And now you can lift it up, and the LCD cable is tangled around it. You just want to untangle it and remove it. You can take it outside again, use a toothbrush to clean it, and dry compress it and clean it up nicely. Once you clean it up, bring it in, and you want to tangle back down the cable around it and set it down, or put it in offset position so it's easier for you to put the cable in. So push the fan cable right there, and then bring the fan right over and put the two screws for the fan. Now we're gonna clean up the CPU. We're gonna grab one. I'm gonna grab this one. We're gonna grab a little bit of workshop towel. I grab a little bit less, but yeah, you can grab a little more. And we're gonna remove the excess of the thermal paste. We're just gonna wipe it up and use a dry part to clean it up nicely. And same thing for the heatsink. I'm gonna use a new sheet. Now there's two options here you have. And now that we realize that the secondary, the third die right in here, only half of the die gets to touch the heatsink right in here, it's not touching it nicely. You can use the Arctic MX4, which is really good, or because this is really soft paste, it's really, how you call it, is really thin. You can use a little different thermal paste, which is an Arctic MX5. These are really more volume it has, like it's really more cushiony. So we're gonna be using this on the secondary die so it can actually reach between the gaps in there, so it can give a nice cooling for the third die. So I'm gonna put a tiny line on the on the die right there on the line over the middle die, and a tiny line on the third die right there. All right. So you can, I'll recommend for this CPU, use the Arctic Silver 5, do not use MX4, because this one fills up the gaps really nicely. And then you want to bring the heatsink this side down first. You don't want to put this side just right now. And then you want to set it down evenly. You want to hold it. You want to follow the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can do 4, 3, 2, 1. As long as you cross screw them, you're fine. Now you want to screw that in place, and you should be fine. And the last thing down here would be to just grab this connector for the battery evenly. You want to push it towards the jack evenly, and make sure the fan cable goes right on beside the fan. Once you put that in there, all you need to do is to grab the bottom cover, bring it over, set it down. You want to push the front down, make sure it does click, the mid, the left side, the back mid, and do not press on this side which they have a C-lock. Once you start screwing it down the C-lock screws, it will pull the palm rest to itself, and it will just close down evenly. Now, I do not recommend you guys to, once you power on, put a heavy load. Just put for at least 20 minutes normal load. Just use any YouTube channels or just watch a video, a movie. So let that thermal paste sit down evenly, because the CPU is going to heat up and it's going to spread that the thermal paste evenly, and it's going to remove any bubbles that is in there. People always like, no, if you put it, you're going to have air bubbles. There will be no air bubbles once the CPU heats up. So you don't have to worry about that. All right. And once you put the screws on the bottom cover, you're pretty much all set. I hope you guys liked this video and helped you guys out. If it did, please click that like and subscribe. If you have any question or requests, feel free to leave them in a video comment. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.